How About That Cigar is proud to bring you coverage of the 2024 PCA Trade Show. Burn cigars, not bridges. How About That Cigar? PCA 2024, James Brown, Oveja Negra Brands, Black Label Trading Company, my friend.
Good to see you.
How you doing?
I'm good, man. Yeah.
Fantastic. So, day 2 of the trade show, you guys have been really busy. Every time we walk by, it's crazy. So that's got to be a good feeling.
No, absolutely. You know, I mean, I love PCA. We always have a good show, so this year's no different. It's been awesome to catch up with everybody.
Yeah.
And, you know, see a lot of people I don't normally get to see throughout the years. But yeah, it's been very busy. A lot of energy for the show, so it's been good.
Yeah, absolutely. We also know that you guys, you never stop. They're always hard at work. So talk to us about what you're featuring this year at the trade show.
Yeah, so, you know, it was kind of an interesting thing with the trade show being a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
So last year, you know, we kind of had to change our schedule up and hustle a little bit for PCA release.
Definitely.
We normally do 1 PCA release, but even in the shorter time frame, we were able to do 2 this year. So
Nice.
it's kind of exciting, yeah.
Okay.
So for Blackwork Studios, we're featuring a cigar called the Paper Crane. This is definitely a unique cigar for us because of the wrapper. So the wrapper is going to be a Connecticut Desflorado, which is not a very common wrapper. It's kind of difficult to grow, to process. So we have very limited access to this. I've wanted to work with it for a long time.
Okay.
And so I was very excited to be able to get it and to do a project with it. And so over the last couple of years, I've been trying to figure out exactly what that was going to be, and it ended up being the Paper Crane.
Okay.
I think it's a really unique Connecticut for us because even though it is a Connecticut, it is definitely a Connecticut for Blackwork smokers.
Yeah.
So still has a great kind of intense spice profile to it, but very well balanced, very complex. Has some really nice kind of softer floral notes as well.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And one of the things I'm curious about with that wrapper is, you know, because, you know, they're like if you look at the porcelain, you know, the wrapper itself, other than color differences, you know, this having sort of a more deeper, richer, pinkish hue.
Right.
What other characteristics, like, are there flavor and aroma characteristics that really sort of set it aside from
Oh yeah,
that?
absolutely.
Okay.
You know, and you know, strength as well. So you know,
okay.
Traditionally Connecticut is not going to be a stout, strong leaf,
Right.
right? But the way that the plant is treated during the growing process for this particular tobacco, the plant undergoes a lot of stress. So everything it has left kind of goes into this upper portion of the, you know, the lajero and the crown of the plant.
Okay.
And so combining the stress with longer sun exposure, you get a thicker, heavier leaf with a lot more oil content than you traditionally have in Connecticut, which leads to a little bit more complexity and also a little bit more strength. So it's a very, very unique wrapper, especially when you compare it to traditional Connecticut's.
Okay. Yeah, we love learning about that stuff, and it's an exciting, you know, thing to be able to get. It's so one of the things we just nerd out about, and I know you do too. Is like, we're literally talking about the same plant, but just like it could be different conditions, like you said, different conditions, different primings, different treatments, and all that. We just love learning about that stuff.
Oh yeah,
man.
absolutely.
So that's a cool project.
Yeah.
And what else you got?
So for Black Label Trading Company, down here we have the Orthodox.
Oh yeah.
This cigar for me, I would say, is kind of it's kind of like a getting back to our roots a little bit. You know, when we started Black Label in 2013, our focus was, you know, highlighting what I loved about Nicaraguan tobacco, which was like the boldness, the intensity, a little bit gritty, kind of rough around the edges, you know, and that's really what I loved about it. And so we launched the brand, you know, kind of based on a lot of lines that was the focus. And over the last 10 years, you know, we've gone in a lot of different directions with different limiteds and even some of the core lines that are going to be kind of on the more medium side and different things like that. So I wanted to come back with a cigar that kind of, you know, get us back to where we started, and the Orthodox is definitely that. So I would say from a nicotine standpoint, it's probably the strongest cigar that we've ever put out.
All right. Nice.
So it is. It's big, it's bold, it's intense, has a really great spice component, especially on the retrohale. But all of that is backed up by a huge flavor profile.
Yeah.
So it's a very, in my opinion, very balanced cigar, which is what we always strive for. But yeah, it's a very cool project, and I'm super excited for people to try it.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, it's funny to hear you say, because us, you know, fans of your products and stuff like that, you know, it's really, you have been known for bold, forward blends,
Right.
over the years. But also you have expanded the portfolio over the years. But to hear that now this Orthodox cigar this is the strongest that you
Right.
have, that's us that love powerful cigars,
Right.
we're
Right.
excited to hear that.
Yeah.
That we could even go kind of that next step up. And I also just have to comment that, you guys have always been really cutting edge on visual design,
Right.
and it just doesn't stop. I mean, every time you guys come out with something new, it there's something about the designs that really speak to us.
Yeah.
And how do you keep it fresh? Are you just constantly working on new
Yeah, I mean,
designs?
it's something that I think it's obviously it's not easy.
Yeah.
But I think it goes hand in hand with the cigar, and I firmly believe that every cigar tells a story, right?
Yeah.
And so, that's kind of always the driving factor. And sometimes the cigar comes first, sometimes the artwork comes first.
Okay.
So it kind of goes either way, and it's so yeah, it's kind of I just let the cigar kind of be what it is, and then
Okay.
figure out, okay, like this is what this should look like.
Yeah.
I mean, this tells the story of this cigar.
I
And
love
so
it.
kind of with the Orthodox, for me, that's kind of as the name indicates, it's like that's the standard, for Black Label.
Yeah.
Like that's the core value, is what it is. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it just I never know really, like when I
Yeah.
start a project, what's going to come first or what the end result's going to be. So,
Nice.
I love that aspect of it.
Well, and I love it, and it's really true because, and we're gonna, throw up pictures and stuff. But the design for the Orthodox, it does feel like, Black Label Trading Company, like origins. It feels
Right.
feels like you guys, almost like your origin story with everything else added on, kind of in one design image. And I
Yeah.
just love the look of it.
Oh,
So
thank you, man.
just keep up the good work, man.
Definitely.
We hope you guys have a great 2024, and
Appreciate it.
just love what you guys do. Keep
Absolutely.
up the great work, and we'll keep smoking them.
All right. Thanks for the time.
All right, thanks, guys.